Hello everyone, my name is CHENG, a Year 1 medical student, and my metric number is PM24110067. Now, I would like to introduce you one of the most precious organ in human body, the eyes. To everyone, have you ever wondered why we can see things clearly? Why can our eyes see colors? What are the structures of the eyes, and what are the diseases related to eyes, and how to treat them? Without further ado, let's get started. So first and foremost, I would like to show you the surface anatomy of eyes. Surface anatomy is the study of external features of the body just by sight without any dissections. So now we can see that the external structure of the eyes are eyebrows, eyelashes, sclera, which is the white part of the eyes, lateral canthus, medial canthus, corneal limbus, pupil, palpebra, which is the upper eyelid, palpebral fissure, and lastly, lacrimal caruncle. Let us dive into the anatomy of the eyes. In the eyes, there are 15 components, and I will introduce them one by one to you. Firstly, we have cornea, which is the transparent layer that refracts and focuses light into the retina. And then we have iris, the colored part of the eye, which controls the size of the pupil, which is the opening of the eye. And then we have aqueous humor, the transparent fluid, which maintains the shape of the eyeball, and conjunctiva, the transparent membrane, which protects the front part of the sclera. And then we have sclera, the strong layer that maintains the shape of the eye and protects it. Don't forget that we have eye lens, which is the transparent and elastic convex lens that focuses light onto the retina. We have also ciliary muscle that changes the thickness of eye lens through contractions and relaxations. And then suspensory ligaments, the strong fibers which hold the eye lens in its position. Don't forget that we have also correct the black layer that prevents the reflection of light in the eyes. And retina, which is the most important part of the eye, which contains the photoreceptors which detects lights and produce nerve impulses. And then we have yellow spot, part of the retina, which is the most sensitive one to light. And then we have blind spot, which has no photoreceptors, and it is an exit point for all the optic nerve fibers. And lastly, we have optic nerves and also Bridges humor, which is the transparent jelly-like substance which maintains the shape of the eyeballs. So now I would like to further elaborate about retina. In retina, there are three types of cells, namely ganglion cells, bipolar cells, and photoreceptors. Ganglion cells convey information from bipolar cells and other retinal neurons to the brain, while bipolar cells provide pathway for photoreceptors to ganglion cells. The photoreceptors consist of two types, which are rod cells that are responsible to detect the intensity of light, and cone cells that recognize RGB, which is red, green, and blue colors. And I would like to talk about biochemical process in photoreceptor, which is phototransduction. It happens when neuron that converts absorption of light into electrical activity, which is the key point to let us see and behold this beautiful world. On top of that, I would like to elaborate the basic light optics that happen in our eyes. As we can see from the flow chart, light enters through the cornea and passes through aqueous humor, which is the clear fluid that maintains intraocular pressure and provides nutrient to the eyes. And then the light will pass through the pupil, which is controlled by the iris, the colored part of our eyes. And then the light is further focused by the lens and go through vitreous humor, which is the gel-like substance that fills the main cavity of the eye, and it helps to maintain the eye structure. Lastly, the light will reach the retina, which has a layer of photoreceptor cells, which are rod cells and cone cells, as I mentioned before, that will convert the light into electrical signals. And the optic nerve will carry the electrical signals from the retina to the brain to be interpreted. And finally, our brain will interpret the electrical signals to generate images, as shown in the flowchart, the Sarawak Laksa. Moving to the physiology and biochemistry in the eyes, lacrimal secretion, or shedding of tears in simple terms, is important. It is the first line of defense of human body against antigen and foreign materials. The process of tear secretion begins with lacrimal glands. Then, tears enter conjunctival sac via excretory lacrimal ducts and fall down across the eyeballs and enter lacrimal canaliculi via lacrimal puncta. Then, they would drain into lacrimal sacs. Lastly, tears empty via nasal lacrimal duct to the inferior meatus of nasal cavity. The hormone involved in tear secretions are progesterone, estrogen, androgen, serotonin, and prolactin. Did you know that estrogen receptor (ER) and progesterone receptor mRNA are present in the lacrimal glands of humans? And then we have androgen receptor (AR) present in human lacrimal glands as well. As for serotonin, it influences lacrimal gland secretory function and acts in conjunction with the autonomic nervous system to regulate tear secretion. Lower serotonin levels will reduce the tear production. And lastly, prolactin encourages crying at a high level, which explains why a female cries more than a male, as testosterone might suppress crying. Let us have a glimpse of the component of tears. The components of tears are water, mucin, lipids, lysozyme, lactoferrin, lipocalin, lecithin, immunoglobulin, glucose, urea, sodium, and lastly potassium. The components colored in red have anti-inflammatory effects to fight against microorganisms and viruses, while sodium and potassium contributes to the saltiness of the tears. After learning the physiology of the eyes, it is time for explaining the pathology of the eyes as well. One of the common diseases associated with the eyes is cataract. As we can see from the pictures, a cloudy lens is formed on the eye at the right side. As a comparison, it is because of aging, trauma, medical conditions, lifestyles, UV radiation, and congenital factors. To diagnose cataract, doctors will carry out visual acuity tests, slit lamp examination, retinal exam using pupil dilation, and lastly, tonometry to measure the intraocular pressure. And what's the treatment for cataract? Well, the primary treatment for cataract is surgery, which involves the removing of cloudy lens and replacing it with an artificial one, which is called intraocular lens, IOL. Surgery is typically recommended when cataracts significantly interfere with daily activities. As for the temporary solutions before surgery, we can use brighter lighting, wear some sunglasses, and update our glasses prescriptions. Nowadays, laser cataract surgery is the latest advancement in cataract surgery, where blades are not used at all. The incisions are made using femtol laser, which makes an opening in the lens bag and breaks the cataract into very small pieces to reduce the amount of phaco energy used. Thus, the structures of the eye is preserved. After this, a foldable IOL is placed in the lens bag. Last but not least, I would like to introduce you an ophthalmologist or the specialist in the eyes, Dr. Chin. He finished his basic degree in the University of Alberta, Canada in 1999 and got his specialist degree in Master of Surgery, Ophthalmology in University Kebangsaan Malaysia in 2008. Currently, he is working as an eye surgeon at KPJ Sabah Specialist Hospital. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching this video.